Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. During my recent vacation, my 3-day vacation from World of Tanks, at least in my main account, I got to play my alternate account, the old Billy Baru here, and I've showed you an ace tanker with the T44. We're going to do another free-to-play type idea, and this time with the old IS. You'll notice that I'm running. This is the most beautiful free-to-play setup right here. I'm running the 100mm, right? I don't have any camo on my turret because all you need is camo on the hull to get the bonus, right? Not that camo is really helping out an IS too much, but this is how we're rolling. I have small kits. I have a manual fire extinguisher, only 6 APCR. I probably have too many HE actually at 8. And we are here on Westfield, although we've got a great setup. We're top tier, tier 7s and 6s. I have another IS and a Tiger P, and that's good news because I don't have something like a chopper or a T-29 with a lot of gun depression that could abuse us on this ridgeline. The other IS and the Tiger P are going to have to deal with as much of the arse pain of bad gun depression as I am. So we're just going to head right up here and get to the heavy brawl as soon as possible. I'm not even going to really bother, fellas, to try to go up onto the ridge. You just have to come up and over too much with an IS. I'm going to use this saddle right here where my depression is not as big a deal. Howsoever, I do have to pay attention and make sure nobody's coming up here and shooting me in the side. So we'll make this move initially. We'll reassess if it's a problem. We'll come on up here and see what we got. I don't remember if I shoot too much APCR in here. Maybe later on or when I have to deal with the IS and Tiger. We'll see how that goes. I believe this is an ace tanker as well. So the other IS comes in here and that kind of checks, I would say, with what I would expect them to do. And I like the KV2s here because between the two of us, there's a fear factor in that gun. The other IS-2 is going across and getting shot. I don't want to make a move too soon, but I see the KV2s looking for that shot. This guy does what he does, and we'll try to sneak a shot into him. And we kind of get a little bit of the shot trap there into the ring, the turret ring. Now the Ju-Nu is over there, so he's a problem. And we still have the IS-2 on our side. So this is not a bad setup. You can tell that the Ju-Nu's got decent gun depression actually, but he's a tier 6. The IS and the Tiger P are coming up into the saddle. I don't know what's going on with the KV2. He's lost his mind. I am backed up with a nice AT-7, which has a lot of DPM, or at least a lot of fire, a lot of rate of fire, let's put it that way. It's a very low alpha gun with some pretty good armor on it as well. So this is not bad. This is a decent push. I'm a little concerned with what might be sitting back in the trees back there. So I take a hit from the Ju-Nu, but he gets hit. And this is a wrinkle I wasn't expecting. The Excalibur making a move into the ditch. I do have to be careful with that. So I'm going to back out. And I'm like, is he really going to come up here and let me have this shot? He is. Get a bit lucky. And now I'm kind of caught out a little bit. I need to be careful about not getting shot by this guy. And to be honest, the KV2 Hulk is being a bit of a help for me right now. So I can tell that it looks like this IS is looking for a shot on me. I don't really want to turn around. I don't want to go too far forward. Yep, that's what I was worried about. There's a TD sitting back there, so now I've got to be careful with that. Got to be careful with the guy behind me. I like the IS-2 is pushing, so I'm going to let him do his thing, and I'm going to spin back around and see if we can't start working on these guys. Unfortunate, not penetrated, so we still haven't dipped into the APCR yet. Shot into that guy and try to get away. We do. Again, the dead KV2 is really helping me out here. This is giving me a lot of help. This guy is in a bad situation. We'll sneak a shot in there. You'll notice that the IS-2 is taking care of the Excalibur. The AT-7 is taking a beating, but he's keeping them honest, and we've absolutely just ganked their 2 tier 7 heavies right here. They're in big old trouble. Tiger P is making a runner. He's trying to get away from everybody. Missed shot, bit hasty, I would say. And I think the AT-7 is going to take care of him. So we're just going to blow that guy off. He should be dead. There we go. And we'll keep tracking. We're going to swing back around now. Artie takes another shot at the AT-7. For a wonder, the Artie wasn't going after me. Not a bad decision, I guess, for the AT-7. It's another tier 7. It's not particularly fast. He was sort of sitting there. I see the ISU 152. And unfortunately, our IS-2 makes I would say, a unwise push down the side of the map. Let's just pause for a second and talk about that. It's not really a great idea, is it, guys? I mean, look what we've got. They're kind of down at the bottom. The Dicker's in the town, but the 244 at least is there. They have several TDs that were on this ridge spotting. They've won down there in the southeast, so who knows where they are. It's just, we kind of have the high ground. They've got the, I guess, eastern edge of the map and the northern edge of the map. So that push across the north there was just really ill-advised. He'd have done a lot better to do what the Hellcat's doing and kind of sit back there for a moment, see if the enemy wants to make a mistake. I can see the AT-7's moving in there, and we have the T-28 HTC that's moved into the middle, and that's another of our Tier 7s. Nice gun on that thing, about 300 alpha, I believe, maybe 320. Hits hard, decent armor, not particularly fast. Okay flexibility for a casemate because of the gun azimuth on it is quite a lot. So I'll let him kind of lock down the middle. I'm not noticing the T-44, so late to see that. And I'm just going to fall back to here, guys, because right now we're a little bit outnumbered by 2 tanks, and this is what I'm concerned with, these 2 dudes over here. So I'm looking for a way to get shots on these guys. I like the E-25, how he's posted up right there. That's going to keep them from kind of pushing into our backfield. He might get some lights, such as on the T-34-85 up there. So we're going to come up and over and see if we can get a shot on this guy. Nope, he's behind a little ridge. There's at least a Hellcat, a T-34, and maybe a Super Hellcat over there. What are we missing? We're missing another Super Hellcat, and it looks like the Artie and the Jagdpanther. So there's a Jagdpanther hanging around somewhere as well. So it's just not a great idea right now to go pushing out into the open, especially, or even in an IS. As decent as the armor is at this tier in this fight, if I'm out in the open getting shot from multiple directions, that's just not going to work out. Long zoom in, so we get a shot on that guy. 228, I'll take it. 244 dies, but the Dicker Max dies, and then the 3045M gets rid of the Jagdpanther. That was a big kill because that Jagdpanther has a lot of firepower. That's a pretty good tank at Tier 7, my friends. So we're going to, again, long zoom time here. So, oh, we're just off to the left. Nope. No bueno, guys. Let's get rid of the Super Chaffee because he's really important. See if we get a shot. That didn't hit anything. Artie might have hit him. The 100 millimeter is more accurate than the 122. I hadn't even unlocked the 122 here anyway, so it's not like I could have used it. I'm sort of torn on that, whether to go to the 122. It is nice to blap them with 390 alpha, but at the same time, the firepower, rate of fire wise anyway, and the accuracy of the 100 is pretty nice on this tank. All right, I see them pushing. They're making a concentrated push, so let's just drop down here. This is why I like this spot for a defensive position. 3045 is doing some work. Let's see if we can get some shots on this guy. Nope, a little bit of a hasty shot. All right, he seems to be sitting there, so let's try to work on some of their fire support back here. All right, there we go. Got one on him. No, okay, so he's kind of stuck there. The E-25 is working him over. Very nice. And we've lost a couple tanks. If you look up there, our AT died up in the north. The Hellcat managed to not die, so at least he's watching the north up there. My next concern would be them sweeping around from the north with the Super Hellcat and whatever else is up there, the Su-152. Killing their Super Chaffee would be absolutely amazing at this point because we're in a bit of a pickle, and he makes it easy for us by showing up in the town and getting lit, and that was very helpful. We'll just kind of zoom, and we'll see if we can go. Boop. Oh, never mind. Crusader knocked him out. That was huge, guys. That evened up things quite a bit. Honestly, now our E-25 is about the best spotter on the board. Their Super Hellcat has moved into the town, pushed the T-28 HTC back. We don't know where the Su-125 is, and we're still missing a full hit point Super Hellcat. We haven't seen him yet. Don't know where he is. And I'm a bit concerned here. I don't want this HTC to start getting shot in the back. So he's going to make a push into the town, and I'm going to support him. I've got 2,000 damage, 647 assists, and 1 kill. I'm just going to be here ready, and he stops. He actually gets into that bush without getting spotted, so that wasn't bad at all. I reached my daily limit of playing time. I've never seen that. What does that even mean? No idea what that means. Session will end in 1 minute. Wow. Okay. I don't think it ended. I don't know if I've ever... What is that? You guys ever seen that? It's very strange. Alright, so we're going to move around. We're going to push into town and see if we can't maybe find the Super Hellcat If we can catch him in town and gang tackle him between me and the HTC, that would be very good. If he's fallen back, at least we can prove he's no longer in the town. E25 continues to anchor the south. He's sitting there. If they push in, at least we should get some kind of warning. He's going to be hard to dig out from there. Kind of agree with him not pushing forward. If a Super Hellcat's sitting in one of the bushes down there in the south, he could get seen pretty easily. I'm going to carefully move through these buildings. I am knocking some things down a little bit right here. Can't be helped necessarily. Our Hellcat is sort of moving up. Looked like he fell back a bit, and now he's moved up again. And the HTC is thinking about what he's going to do there. I don't really want to get spotted in the town because they do have the M12 and the M44. There's some buildings here to protect myself, but there's not really a place to be exactly safe, and they could splash, take some damage out of me. And one of the benefits that you have at this part of the game when you haven't been seen for a while is they don't know where you are either. If you poke around too much and end up getting spotted, then they know that you're in the town. Right now, they don't know where the hell I am. Last they saw me was down there in the south a bit. In fact, I don't even know if I was spotted there. Maybe my last marker might actually still be up in the hills. I don't remember if they spotted me. I'm knocking stuff down, so that's going to give them a clue that somebody's trolling around. E25 has now moved to the north. That's fine. That gets our firepower together. We should be fast enough to react if some of them try to drive down onto the cap, especially E25. They are seen. Either they're seen or they knock down enough stuff that the Arty decided to shoot in there. But because both Arty shot, that makes me feel like they were actually seen by somebody. Not surprised. Super Hellcats could be in just about any bush. If we zoom out right here, all of these bushes, like here, over here, even along this side, I mean, these are all spots Hellcats could be and easily spot us and not be spotted. Somehow I managed to get here and not being spotted. That makes me feel like they're probably down on the ridge right along here somewhere. E25 is making a move. He's going to go somewhere else. Good plan. T28 has turtled up a little bit. He's still sort of moving around. Hasn't lost too many hit points. I'm kind of clicking on the Hellcat because he's got hit points. T28 is complaining that he needs spots. There goes the Hellcat. That's not bad. He's moved that far without being seen. I'm going to move a little bit forward here and just take a chance I might get spotted. That's some SA at least. So he gets up there. We don't see anything. I like this team working together. Now, he's obviously seen, so the Arty just took a stab at him, thumps him. That sucks. And the E25 just goes. At least I thought he was. And then he just cranks on the brakes, or maybe he ran into that tank. There, okay, there's one of them right there. So we'll put a shot on him if we can. Nice. 2 hits. And he backs out. And that's unfortunate, but it did get that guy lit. Arty's going every direction, and that sucks. All right, fine. We got the Hellcat, one of them anyway. That was the unseen one, by the way, which is nice. That was the full hit point Hellcat. Now I'm just going to push across here. I got 2 artillery supporting me. I'm pretty sure the Sioux is still there. We just saw him there. I don't know where the other Super Hellcat is. He was last seen there. I don't think he's in here because I didn't notice him being in that particular engagement we just had. There weren't extra shots coming from somewhere that I couldn't account for. So I'm just going to push in here and we're going to try to surprise this guy just like this. A bit lucky, man. I felt like my gun was just pulled up above his hole right there. Good news is he wasn't pointing at me. He was pointing up north. Honestly, I don't know really why he was still pointed that way. Maybe he thought because the threat came from that way, the 2 guys, maybe me or the T-28 HTC was with him. I guess that's not a bad guess right there. But the HTC was last seen in town, so it would have only been me he was worried about. A couple already come flying in. Nothing I can do about that. And we'll keep on pushing. Now, we get into a situation where the game is really trying to mess this up for me. I got 2 kills, 2,467 damage, 964 assists. Now watch these last shots. I have selected HE, which I have a checkered pass with. Oftentimes I don't bother with it because I feel like it really screws me over on many occasions. But check this out. And this isn't a particularly large HE gun. We're just going to come up here and we're going to try to shoot this guy. Oh, Well, at least he missed. Okay, fine. He missed too. And so I get the assist. 350 assist off of that guy. We both shoot the ground. Alright, great. The M44 took a shot. Oh, there's a Super Hellcat. And I'm stunned. And I can't fix it, so we have to wait. Alright, I didn't wait completely. I do get a bounce. Alright, this one will get him though, right? Here we go. We got this. That's awesome. Ram kill. Okay, we'll take it, fellas. We'll take it. We finally got that guy. The M44 takes a step. Here's what I know and what I am happy about in that particular situation. I am worried at 2 minutes that he might get away. I'm not fast. The HTC is not fast. To be honest, if he'd have turned and ran a while ago, I'd probably never catch the guy. Maybe we corner him at some point. I don't know. We have 2 minutes, but it would have been more difficult. What I do know, though, based on the arc of the shot and the fact that he was pointing at me, he may have had some offset, but he was largely pointing at me, that he's close, he's just fired, and now he has to turn all the way around. And while the M44 is a decently fast tank, it is not super fast. I'm stunned. That's hurting me. And honestly, right now I'm thinking, am I even going to be able to find this dude? I hope so. Let's find out. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I think that was probably, yes it was, the HTC that saw him. Because I have a bunch of bushes between me and him, but the HTC pushed down just enough. This dude is about to get up and over though, isn't he? Okay, there you go. So HE did its work, 294 on that shot. We end up with 2,987, 1,601 assists. We got 3 kills. Ends up being an ace tanker with basically a stock setup. Probably call it a free-to-play setup. I wasn't completely stock. The 100mm is not the stock gun. I think I have the tracks in the engine, but you understand what I'm saying. A relatively basic setup with the little kits. And remember, I had forgotten this actually when I put the little kits on there. They're actually not that bad now because when you hit the kit, it fixes everything. You don't have to select the thing you fix like you used to. It's just the cooldown is much longer. It's instead of 60 seconds, it's 90 seconds with the small kit. So honestly, the small kits are not as big a downgrade as they used to be. It's just the amount of time between them being ready to go again for the smaller kits. There you go. Like I said, another ace tanker, this time with the IS with the 100mm. Ow. Well, that's a... Goodness gracious. What did that? That must have been one of the arty hits that I took. Was that the last M44 arty hit with 200? Yikes. All right, fellas. That's all I've got for today. Have a great one. We will see ya.